Tell us a story, Kobe story that like nobody knows
A Kobe story that nobody knows.
from your perspective.
Well, I'm sure a few people know this story, but the mass of people don't know this story. So, again, as a 17, 18-year-old kid, Kobe had never been to a beach. He ain't never seen ocean and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I tell him, and D. Fisher was with us as well. Travis Knight. Do you remember Travis Knight?
course.
These are all three rookies. So I said, listen, we're gonna go to the beach. I'm gonna take y'all to the beach, and we're just gonna talk basketball. You know, and we're gonna talk life in general. You know,
This is after a practice.
this is after a practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all go down and we go walking around the beach, and they're just looking at the water and just chilling and just tripping off the ocean. And they're like, man, I ain't never seen nothing like this. This is unbelievable. So after they get over the oh my God, type of look, then we start talking about basketball. And once we finish with basketball, and D. Fish, who we all know is how great he was,
Yeah.
and how tough mentally and physically that he was, everybody left and it was just me and Kobe. And he just started talking about the 80s, 80s basketball. Man, B, I wish I would have played with you guys back in the 80s, because I just love the way you guys played, the physicalness of the game, how everybody was tough. You go down the line, you get knocked down and blah, blah, blah. And we just went on and on. And I was like, yeah, you would have been great in the 80s. It would have been fun. I said, wait, hold up. I said, no, I'm glad you didn't play in the 80s. He said, why? Because my ass would have been sitting on the bench. And I said, not like playing. Dog. I didn't want to be no six man. You know what I'm saying? I said, so you playing in the 2000s and blah, that was perfect for you. Stay your ass there. I don't want you back in the 80s taking my spot.
Oh, that's great. So talk about his work ethics, man, because they're legendary.
Yeah.
And people still to this day talk about his work ethics. I mean, you've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them. I've been invited to some of the summer ones,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the things that I went to a workout with him one time. I'll tell you a quick story. He invited me to a workout. He says, Jay, we're going to be here at 4 a.m. This was in Orange County one summer, and we worked on just one area. And it was just midsection, abs. I don't think I walked for 2 straight days afterwards. I never worked out with him ever again after that. That's my quick and only story about his work ethics. But you worked out with him quite frequently.
Yeah.
Talk about his work ethics.
Well, you know what? There's 3 people in my lifetime that I admired on how hard they worked. Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Walter Payton, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And his was legendary, Kobe, as far as he never worked out just once a day.
No.
Like you just said, he would get up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Or he said, meet me at a gym at 4 in the morning. And he would work out for, 2-3 hours lifting because he knew he had to get stronger. You had to get bigger. You're a basketball player. Just get stronger, right?
Yeah.
Then he would go eat breakfast, and then he'd come back and he'd make 500 shots. So he'd be there another 2 hours. Then he'd get ready for practice, right?
Yeah.
He'd go through a 2.5 hour, 3 hour practice like it's nothing. Then he'd go have lunch and blah, blah, blah. He'd chill out for another hour. Then he'd come back at night and work out again. And it was crazy to me because he had his method of it was scientific, because he was like, B, if I work out 3 times a day, and all these other guys who are so-called great players work out just for practice. They just work out that 1 time a day. He said, over a 5-year period, they can't catch me. I've worked out that much. I've worked on my body. I've worked on my footwork. I've worked on my shot. So 5-10 years from now, they can't catch me. They're that far behind. And I never thought about it until he explained it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was a guy that in the summertime, to the gym, lift weights. Go to the track, I'll run for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I have my boy Henry Hines, right? Then I go play. And that's equivalent to 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I never thought of it or never put it in the type of method that he was talking about. And I just thought it was ironic that, a young man got it that quickly. He understood that if I worked out harder and longer and more than the guy who's supposed to be on my level, sooner or later he won't be on my level anymore.
Wow.
And I mean, it was deep, but he was, as you know, he was that type of thinker as well.
Yeah.
Kobe was extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
extremely intelligent. So he just said, scientifically, if I do this, you can't catch me.
Yeah.
And he was right.
And it worked.
And it worked. And I tell people this all the time too, Kid Jay. Kobe Bryant was not the most talented player that I've seen on a basketball court. Tracy McGrady was more talented. Vince Carter was more talented.
Yeah.
But and this is no disrespect to those two because I love both of those guys. VC, unbelievable. Tracy McGrady, unbelievable. Both Hall of Famers, no doubt about it, right? But they didn't have that that Kobe had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why when he would go against those guys, he would shine. Plus the fact that when he went against those guys, it was like
he looked for those guys.
Yeah, he looked.
Yeah,
that was his motivation.
Yeah.
He looked to play against the best guys.
Yeah.
LeBron, no, I'm guarding him.
Yeah.
You don't see superstars today say, I want the best player on the team. I want to guard him.
Yeah.
And we played a game against Orlando when they had Tracy McGrady. Tracy had 26 and a half. We go in at halftime. I'm like, hey, man, the guy that's guarding him, you guys got to do it. Kobe said, Coach, I got Tracy. Tracy ended with 30.
4 points.
4 points in
Probably
second
all
half.
at the free throw line.
4 points second half. So that was his mentality. That's why he's one of the greatest of all times.
Now, do you think that work ethic, did that attribute to his injuries at all?
I think anytime you work as hard as he worked, the human body can only take so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, the Achilles, the knee, the shoulder, all those things I think contribute to the work ethic that he had. But the thing about Kobe, he didn't care.
Yeah.
He didn't care. He also understood as a basketball player, it's a short period. 10 years, a decade is not that long.
Yeah.
He understood that his window was not going to be 40 years. I'm not a doctor. I can't practice, medicine for 40 years. I'm not a lawyer. I can't practice law for 40 years. But I can practice this game for 15 to 20 and give it everything I got. Now, is it going to shorten my career as far as the injuries and things like that? He's like, yeah, probably so. But you know what? I'll deal with that later. And that was his mentality.
And we talked about the mental toughness. This guy has to be the toughest guy I've ever seen in my life.
I've never seen anybody to this day tear an Achilles and walk off the basketball court. I've seen a whole lot of them tear it and get carried off.
And tear it and never come back.
Tear and never come back. Now, I saw him tear it, go to the bench, come back in because he got fouled, made the 2 free throws, and then walk to the locker room.
Yeah.
Gary Vee said this so many times. He said he mentally and physically is one of the toughest guys, if not the toughest I've ever been around.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. And Gary Vee's been around a whole lot of guys, in professional basketball that were supposed to be tough and all this stuff. But KB, there's nobody like him.
Yeah, I was around most of his career with the Lakers, and I've seen many, many injuries that he had. I mean, fingers going different directions.
Yep.
Gary Vee just popping them back into place right there on
the court.
On the court.
Yeah.
Whereas other players run back to the locker room and then they sit out the rest of the game, snap it. Kobe just snapped it right back in the game, walks in the game, shakes it off like
it's nothing.
Like it's nothing. Knees swelling up. Shake it off.
Yeah.
Goes right back into the game.
Yeah. The other story that's crazy is I'm coaching him and we're in New Orleans, right? Kobe takes a shot, something happens, he comes down the court, and he's doing like this, We go down the court again. He didn't take a shot, but we come back and Gary Vee says, B, you got to take him out. Something's wrong with his shoulder. So I call timeout. Kobe comes over. I said, KB, you all right? He said, yeah, I popped something in my shoulder. I said, all right, man, I got to take you out the game. He said, no, I'm good. Yeah, I got another one. Swear to God, I got another one. Right?
Play left.
Yeah. So we go down the court. He posts up. Poindexter was his name. 6'7". He turns around, fall away, left hand, bam. Swear it makes it right. And when he made it, even Poindexter's like, what the hell? So he's running down the court, and he's still doing this with his right shoulder. So I take him out. I was like, KB, that's it. He's like, B, I'm good. I said, no, that's it, dog. That's it. Set him down. We go in after the game. Doctors come in. They say he separated his shoulder. He needs surgery. But he played literally 5 more minutes until I just said, no. Okay. When he turned around and shot it left-handed, I was like, oh, no, I got to get him out. Took him to the back. Doctor said, yeah, he just separated. He needs shoulder. He's done for the year.
Wow.
But he just looked at me. I was like, man, your right shoulder? He's like, I'm good. I got another one. I'm good. That's the mental and physical toughness of Kobe Bryant.
The mentality of Kobe.
Mentality. Never say die, never quit, never give up. That was him.
Wow. We're going to talk a lot about Kobe throughout this podcast.
Absolutely.
We're going to have a lot of guests on our podcast that know Kobe, that played with him.
Played against him.
Played against him as well. Yep. So, we're going to talk a lot about Kobe throughout these podcasts. Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.